Yeah, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash, double honors to our head apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutation to all you Akim out there doing this work with sincerity and charity, with humiliation across the four winds. To you I salute. This is the brother Yahweh Archer, with a brief lesson. And what inspired me to do this lesson is I had a conversation with one family member of mine and one his friend. Yeah. And my family member, he was asking me because he hear me. I was talking to one of the brothers on a voice note, and he hear me say, because we greet one another, Shalom, Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makah Kodash, Barakatam. And he asked me, say what I say. So he tell me, I tell him what I say. Then he can tell me, ask me if I is Muslim. I tell him no. I say, man, I is a Hebrew Israelite. You know what I mean? I say from the tribe of Benjamin, because I down there in the Bahamas. You know? And then the other fellow was there with him. He jump in and he start talking about Allah. He come like he's a Muslim. You know, so I asked him, I say, so Selassie is a God as well then? He tell me he ain't know, but he know Muhammad. I think that's whoever them Muslim worship. He's a part of that. So I was telling him about what really inspired or transpired, because it was only 3 languages spoken back in the days. You know, you can't go too deep with these guys, them, especially when they ain't know. You know? So he asked me, say what you call God? I say he ain't name no God. I say God is a title. His name is Yahweh. And his son name is Yahushai Mashiach. That's the Father and the Son. And he was telling me, but Allah. You know what I mean? So Allah is he God. But I asked him what book he just read. He tell me he read the Quran. I asked him what? The Quran. I asked him if he's read the Holy Bible. He tell me no. The man tell me say they done read the Bible over 1,000,000 times. You know, but then my cousin jump in again too, talking but Jesus. I say, yeah, they get Jesus in the Bible, but that ain't his name, and that ain't his son name. For an example, I share him. You know, I go on, because I had my book right there at me. I go on, I grab my book and I share him. I say, all right then. Because everything's scriptural. I go on, I grab Proverbs 30:4. I say, look, read that. I read it. So I can read Proverbs 30:4. And, Shalakia. Yeah, man, these guys, just the start. I can read the book of Proverbs 30:4. That's the book of Proverbs 30:4, and it reads, Say, who had ascended up into heavens, or descended? Who had gathered the winds in his fists? Who had bound the waters in his garment? Who had established all the ends of the earth? Who is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou can tell? And I asked him if he know why that there. And he tell me he know why that there. So I try to explain them. And they start talking all kind of, at least the Muslim guy start talking all kind of foolishness but Allah and I mean I only because I was there, only because I was around them. I just wanted to see how ignorant, see how Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is do. And these jakes too, that's why you see how Bashem Yahushai deal with a small number. Ain't everybody can get this faith, this truth. Ain't everybody can understand this. And these guys, them just believe in what they believe in. And to see these jakes, them one worshiping Allah and the next one talking about Jesus. It's like that's two different entities right there, two different God they worshiping right there. And he ain't none is the true power. Then he asks me again, so who you worship? I tell him I worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the Bible. Man, they start sucking their teeth and running on with a bunch of foolishness. Things that didn't make no sense. But we know everything is off the Most High. Everything is off the Most High. This book of 1 Timothy 4:2. And it reads, say, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience scourged with a hot iron. Yeah, man, they set in what they believe. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai do that to them. They set in what they believe. Their conscience then set with a hot iron. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and brand them. And trying to convince them, trying to convince them. But it ain't work. It ain't work at all. It never work. And they're trying they're trying to convince me. They trying to make me believe they saving the true God, the true and living power. That you know. They ain't saving the true and living power. They just lost. They just lost. But we know who did that to them. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai did that to them. And he did that to them for a reason. Because this faith this truth ain't for everybody. And we know that. And they're trying to tell me all kind of things. They explain a lot of crazy stuff to me too, especially the Jake would say he's a Muslim. But the Messiah always tell us to be aware and be vigilant. And one thing with the prophets of the prophets and elders from GMS, we know when you're talking shit, we know when you're off and getting off. And they're trying to make me believe whatever they're telling me is true. And try to make me believe that they're saving the true and living power. But I had to cut them up. I had to show them some things too. But still ain't convinced them, because you can't put new wine in an old bottle down and wait. Especially when you're dealing with someone who ain't no fool. who know the truth, who know the scriptures, you know. And Yahweh Shem Shai say beware of them, you know, and they will try to do it, you know. They'll try to do it because they're so convinced that they're serving the true and living power, bro. I mean, they're true and living power, not Yahweh Shem Shai. We know that. This is book of Matthew 7:15. I can just read this. Say, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. They believe they could convince me. Or try. They tried. But it never worked. You know, and I just look at them and say, boy, Yahweh Shem was shy. Get them right where he want them. You know, but I ain't do no lot of talking with them. Because I don't see their conscience is set without I. And Yahweh Shem was shy and get them where he want them. You know, just looking at them and, you know what I mean? Because one is my family, you know. And I used to be trying to show him some things. And he always talking, sometimes he be talking with prophecy too. Prophecy is as well, the one who believe in Jesus. Because he always talking about how Trump can cause world war and all that too. You know? But I tell him he worshiping the wrong God. And I try to convince him too. I try to convince him. But he ain't easy to convince, because Yahweh Shem Shai ain't dealing with him. Yahweh Shem Shai get their conscience set with hot iron, and they don't know they worshiping false God. They even know they even ain't on the right path. That's the next thing. This is the book of John 4:22. And it reads, ye worship, ye know not what we know, what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. They don't know who they're worshiping. They just was taught what they practicing, what they preaching, they practice. You know, but through the spirit and power of Hashem Yahushai, we know 2/3 of Jakes are destined to die. You know, because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai deal with a small number. You know, and to see Jake in that state of mind, and to see how they thinking is the next problem. You know, and they truly convinced they worshiping the right power. But they worshiping false God. So with that, until I come to the next lesson, Shalom.